Hi, this is Angela Skirtu with St. Louis Marriage Therapy, and you can find me at www.therapistintstlouis.com. So this video today is about how to be more accountable. Why is accountability important? Well, for a lot of reasons. So most of the clients who come see me are finding me after somebody's committed an affair. And the hard thing about an affair is it really breaks every level of trust. And so you lose the benefit of the doubt from your partner. All the benefit of the doubt is, by the way, is when somebody just assumes you have good intentions for them and that you're not doing anything to hurt them in any sort of way. But once you've cheated, well, you've broken the benefit of the doubt, essentially. I don't give you the benefit of the doubt anymore. You said you were places and you weren't, often. So I'm sorry to say this, but you kind of have to give that to your partner and let go of it. That no, you're going to have to show with accountability that you are who you say you are and you're doing what you say you're doing. So accountability is about words matching actions. That every word that comes out of your mouth has an action that can complement it. And so you really have to be very careful about what you say after you've cheated on your partner, because they aren't going to trust your words. They're not going to, you can say anything you want. It doesn't matter to them unless the action proves that you are doing what you say you're going to do. And so a lot of what couples have to do after an affair is talk to each other about the kinds of actions that will help begin to rebuild that trust with one another. And so those actions can be far and wide, but for example, say you're traveling out of town and you travel for work, then coming up with some accountabilities or actions that you're going to take to show that you're doing what you say you're going to do, or what your partner is going to need to feel a sense of security with you traveling out of town, right? Especially if the affair happened while you were out of town. So things that can happen to show accountability will be, hey, I'm going to make sure you know when I'm going to work and when I'm done and I'm going back to the hotel. And you can give them your schedule to show them exactly what's going to happen, but then text her or him, text your partner before you go into work that day. I do say this a lot to people, but showing pictures, being willing to FaceTime tends to do a lot better than just sending text, because you can send a text while you're next to a person you're cheating with. So, I mean, it just depends on the person, right? But so being willing to text and show where you're going to be, being willing to be tracked for a time. Nobody likes this part of getting through an affair, but part of accountability is, are you where you say you were, right? And if you are willing to be tracked on your phone, like through the Google Maps, then being able to say, hey, here's where I'm going to be, here's what's happening. Another form of accountability is that you can offer to bring your partner with on trips. That doesn't mean that's going to be able to happen, because sometimes your partner works, and sometimes your partner can't. I mean, they just can't take time off, or they just can't go everywhere. Like you guys both have lives, right? Usually that's the case. Usually it's the case you both have lives. But anyhow, what needs to happen in those cases is an open invitation. And all an open invitation is just saying, hey, if at any time you do want to show up, you do want to come in to a vacation or a trip I'm taking, you're more than welcome to come. Also, this isn't even if you're traveling, but at work, accountability can be, if at any time you want to show up just for lunch randomly without telling me that you're going to show up, then please feel free. And why that holds you accountable is essentially at any time they can show up. So if anything's happening that you're not there when you said you were, then you're kind of able to be caught in a lie. But if you're trying to be an accountable person, see, most of the time people, when they're starting to see me, they are trying to show that accountability. They're really hurt and disappointed in themselves for hurting their partner. So they want to rebuild that trust. So the open invitation that you can show up at any event, whether it's work, whether it's when I'm hanging out with the guys with girls, whether it's anything. The open invitation is one great way to set up some accountability. But overall, when you're thinking about building that accountability is where the real trust is built. It's basically saying, I'm going to live an open book life now, and I want you to see and know what my life looks like, know the people that are in my life, so that going forward, you will trust that I am doing what I say I'm going to do, and I am where I say I am. And so it can be as open book as like, here are all my appointments through the day that you can see at work, and here are all the things that I do throughout my week and all the locations I'll be. And at any time, if you want to drop in and say hello, feel free. Other extra accountabilities can be knowing each other's friends and coworkers and the people in each other's communities, because the more entwined you guys are in each other's lives, the easier it is for you to trust that there will be people around that know you. So I'm not saying that you have to live each other's lives. Trust me, I know that you have your own lives, and you can't show up for everything. That's just not going to be reasonable. But it's more that sense of willingness is more of what builds that accountability and trust than anything else. Because essentially you're saying, no, I want you to be a part of my life, and I'm okay with whatever you need to feel that sense of trust and accountability again. So anyhow, this has been Angela Skirtu, and I'm with St. Louis Marriage Therapy. You can contact me at www.therapistintstlouis.com. Thanks again for tuning in. I have these all week.